Dumelang guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sehlake, also go by the name Reneilwe. If you're new on my channel, do anything creative home living, meal preps, makeovers, renovations, DIYs, home updates, anything that has to do with us living creatively in our home, we do it on my channel. So I don't want to ramble on, but if you're a returning savvy, welcome back, creative home living family. And if you are into this type of content and you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and let us give you a warm welcome to this creative home living family. This has been a long awaited video on my channel because usually I have these frequently, but I kind of slowed down. And not really, I have been meal prepping, however you haven't been seeing me do it on my channel. So I'll be adding a couple of tips, tricks, hacks like I usually do. I do have videos like that. I'll link them up here and down below for you guys if you want tips, tricks, and hacks for how to make meal prepping easier for you. And if you're new to my channel, our meal preps have nothing to do with us being on a diet or us trying to lose weight, gain weight. It has nothing to do with that. It's just solemnly for us to have the convenience of having a home cooked meal without having to cook one every single day or without having to wonder what am I making on this day. We just simply go to the kitchen, grab a meal, and we just eat it. So it's just for convenience. We're gonna make it different, however, this time. I have one where I've meal prepped breakfast and dinner, and then I have one where I've just meal prepped dinner on its own. This time around, I'm going to add more to it, so please do subscribe. Please do give this video a thumbs up because we are gonna meal prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in one. And with that being said, there will also be meals that we are gonna make outside of, like, within the perimeters of load shedding, in case you're meal prepping and load shedding happens, because this actually did genuinely happen to me, or in case you're in a meal prep but there is no electricity for that duration. I would say it does come with a bit of investment because I did use my gas cylinder stove top. I get gas cylinder with a cooktop on top just so I can finish off my meal. We're gonna kick this off with breakfast. We are going to start off with breakfast. So we're going to have simple two breakfast options. So with the first option, I got these just from Westpac, and we are just going to make our own overnight oats. We're going to be using the ingredients that I have put on the screen for you guys. You can obviously substitute these things for other things. You can use your own sweetener, you can use your own yogurt. I prefer the double cream one, and I feel like it added more like taste to my rolled oats. I really do feel like the yogurt does step it up. You can add some full cream milk. If you're lactose intolerant, you can get the lactose free milk, and just like that, we are done. This took less than 5 minutes, but if you're taking your time and you're not on a time crunch, it can take you 5 minutes. You can top it up with dried fruits or you can use fresh fruit. For the second option, what I have is fresh fruit. You can add muesli or granola. I will show you the granola option later on. And I know you must be wondering what's the difference between muesli and granola. I also ended up Googling it. And the health line says muesli is a raw version of granola. Granola is baked muesli and it has been coated with something. But they both have their own health benefits, and this is the granola option. So basically what you have to do is just add your muesli or your granola and then add enough yogurt. I can't stress this enough because it can be a bit dry if you don't add enough yogurt, and then you can top it off with your favorite fruit or whichever fruit you feel will last longer. We have discovered that blueberries last longer when it comes to fresh fruit. And just like that, we are done with our breakfast prep. We're gonna get into our lunch prep. So for lunch, our first option is gonna be simple. We're going to use our smoked trout and then we're going to fry it up. In this time frame, I also fried up some bacon. I will share tips and hacks with you guys at the end of the video, addressing most of the questions that I get when I share my meal prep videos with you guys. And then this one is very simple. You can use a croissant, you can use bread, you can use a bun of any kind, whichever wheat option, I think that's the right word, I'm not sure, but whichever option you want to choose, and simple as that, we are done. And then for our second option, you can fry up some bacon and then we can get some sandwich thins reason why I'm picking sandwich thins is that on the weeks where I'm waiting to meal prep, I don't want my sandwich thins going bad, so I can freeze them and then we can put them in the fridge the night before our next meal prep. So you're always looking at something like that as well. And then you can add some rama. Instead of the cream cheese, you can use a spread of your choice. It could be Melrose, it could be jam, whichever one you like. What I like about these lunch preps is that I'm just giving you an idea. You can always change it around and customize it to your liking. So if you're not into bread and all the things that are along the lines of croissants and bread, we can have a different option for lunch. We're gonna make some couscous, well, chickpea salad rather. And this meal, I got it from Chef Kate, and when I was using my YouCook subscription. So I'm just making this easier for you guys. If you don't have a YouCook subscription, you can just grab some couscous, and then I like to put mine inside a bowl with warm water at the bottom just so it can be extra soft. I drained my chickpeas and then I added my olive oil. This is where it comes in handy should you have load shedding. Grab your gas cylinder and then fire it up, and then we can continue cooking. So what I love about my lunch preps and my breakfast preps is that you don't really need much electricity. If you have a gas cylinder or if you have a gas stove, I guess you're one of the lucky people. In my case, I only have an electrical stove, so it does come in handy to keep a gas cylinder on hand. I can change it out for a cooktop or change it out for a heater top, and then on the winter seasons I use it as a heater. So if you don't have one, I will highly suggest you actually invest in one. If you're afraid of gas, I'd say maybe try and get an inverter. Probably invest in that, and I feel like an inverter is a bigger investment than a gas cylinder is. But I do know that there are people who are afraid of using gas cylinders, and I completely understand if you're one of those people. And honestly, I feel like certain meals you can make without electricity. You don't have to fry up the couscous. You don't have to fry up your chickpeas. You can probably have them in the way that they come in, because they are already cooked. We just want them extra crunchy. And as far as your couscous, all you need is warm water. So if you can have a kettle that has already boiled water in it, then it makes it easier. You don't need electricity for your lunch and your breakfast. Once that is all said and done, we mixed up our roughly chopped tomatoes. We're gonna chop up our bacon, which are cooked when I was making my other lunch preps. So that way I'm doubling up on my time. I don't have to refry anything. I'm just frying bigger portions, and then I'm going to change it up, and having items repeat in a meal does tend to help you reduce your meal prep time. Now that all is said and done, I packed everything up. I'm not adding my salad dressing in these. I'm adding them in separate containers. I also got them from Westpac, and this took me about 30 minutes to make. Moving on to dinner options. So for our first dinner option, we are going with a pork schnitzel and baby potato meal. This is also by Chef Kate. I am giving them props for these meals because they are the YouCook meals that I've ordered before. So after boiling my half potatoes, I seasoned my half potatoes and added some butter in there, stirred it all around while it was still warm. The butter melted, and then we are good to go. So I am doubling up on my oven. What I'm doing is I put my chicken and pork schnitzel in the oven all together. And now to make that sage infused butter, we're going to melt some butter, add some sage, fry it up until the sage is crispy, and then we're going to put the sage on a paper towel to drain all the oil. I did, however, take it an extra step. I added an extra step by adding some lemon to it, just so it's not too fatty. And then we're just gonna put this all in our lunch tin. Our lunch tin is BPA free. It's a microwave safe and freezer safe. I got these lunch tins from Take a Lot. I just searched meal prep lunch tins, and then I checked if they're BPA free, microwave safe, and freezer safe. I don't think you can freeze the glass ones that I have. And then moving on to the next option, we are making this ostrich and onion sauce with veggie meal. It was inspired by the chef Jason Johnson. And what I did was, in the same pan that I was using for my schnitzels that you guys recently saw, I added some butternut, cooked it for longer because the cabbage is going to take less time. Then during the halfway through of cooking the butternut, I added the cabbage, seasoned it, and added butter, and put it back in the oven. Chopped up some onions. While I was frying up the onions, I'm frying up the ostrich as well. I always say this, double up on your time. If something is in the oven or something is boiling, you can use the extra time to fry something else. I will add this in the tips and hacks later on in the video when I'm sharing everything that works for me when I'm meal prepping. And then to create the sauce, you can add some milk and put it on the side. Mix up a tiny bit of milk with a little bit of maizena. I did have not the weights, basically how much of what you need. And then after adding that little bit of mixture, I added the milk. To thicken this, you can add more maizena, or to loosen this, you can either add more water or more milk, depending on what you're going with and with the consistency you want. Once that was said and done, I added my ostrich cubes. The menu say the ingredients say ostrich steaks. Ostrich cubes are more affordable at Woolies than the steaks, and either way you end up cutting them down. This took me about 35 minutes to make. It could take you less or slightly more depending on if you're in a rush or not. And then for this third option, it's really quick. Chopped up some potatoes, put them in the oven, took out my chicken schnitzel that has been cooking with my pork schnitzel, and then I just basically added the onion sauce from the previous meal, and we are done with this dinner option. So moving on to the tips and tricks, and I'm just going to show you guys what all my meals look like after. Alright guys, we are done meal prepping for today. I lost daylight, so we're using a ring light. So with that being said, I'm just going to quickly explain how this is. This is day 1, this row, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So I have a different video where I tell you how to section your meat and everything. The reason why this lunch is day 1 is because there's fish in it, and there's a bit of fish in this one as well, so that's day 2. Usually fish, you should keep it for about a day. I'm gonna stretch it out to 2 days because my fish is smoked. So I'll let you know how that goes. To make your meal prep time shorter, let your meals repeat, because in day 5 we literally have a full repeat of what's happening in all the other days. We're repeating our ostrich for dinner, ostrich, veggies and onion sauce, and then we're having our chickpea salad for lunch, and then we're going to have our chocolate granola, strawberry yogurt, but then with strawberries in there, no other fruit. The freezing, I usually like to freeze from day 4, so usually something like this I'll put in the freezer, and then on the day that I meal prepped, and then the day that I'm gonna have it, I take it out and I put it in the microwave. It works out for me. We've tried it on my channel before. I'll link that video up here and down below for you guys. My lunches, I'm gonna keep them in the fridge. How long did each meal take me? I would say it takes longer when I'm recording, but you guys saw breakfast went by so quick. When it comes to the lunches, it's so easy because all I did was I fried the bacon with the trout, like one after the other, and then this couscous chickpea salad, it took about, I would say it takes 15 to 20 minutes to make, so that's a short time. Here what I did was, instead of frying and following the instructions where you actually add the coating, I already bought coated chicken and pork, so it reduced my cooking time. All I did was I put them in the oven to cook alongside with these veggies. Makes it a whole lot shorter and easier. To make all of this, it should take you 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And in my case, it's because I'm recording, that's why I'm losing daylight and everything, because I'm trying to share each step with you guys in case you guys are curious, so that it doesn't seem like I'm like, oh guys, what I'm having for this day is just that, and you don't know how I made it. Which meal do you look forward to making? Which meal do you like making when you're meal planning?
Is this a good idea for you guys? I do have student-friendly meal preps as well. I will link that video up here and down below for you guys. And with that being said, don't forget to be kind, love, and light. Mwah.